all right, I hate that we have to do this, but once we've opened the door, we have to do it because people are actually starting to follow this guy. Bobby Kennedy Jr. held his completely unhinged health policy roundtable yesterday. I told you, look at this screenshot. I told you about the kooks that were part of this roundtable, including in the lower left of the screen, Dr. Sherry Tenpenny. That's the woman who said, everyone you know will be dead from the vaccine soon, and that it's a form of child abuse. And anyway, she's nuts. At the bottom center, Dr. Joseph Mercola, who's been fined by the FDA for spreading medical disinformation and some of the products that he sells. I mean, every single one of these people I talked to you about yesterday. So Bobby Kennedy holds this event. These are the last people who should be dictating or even weighing in on health policy in the United States. And Bobby Kennedy comes up with another bonkers claim, now saying that there is good evidence that vaccine research is actually responsible for the existence of HIV, the virus that causes AIDS, RSV, Lyme disease, and even the Spanish flu. I will tell you before even playing the clip that this is not true, but I'm going to play it for you. We are going to discuss it. These assertions that Bobby Kennedy makes with absolutely no hesitation or shame whatsoever are incorrect and potentially dangerous. Let's listen.
And, I will end all gain of function research. I will sign a treaty to end gain of function research to get all the nations to end gain of function research. It's just a disaster. It's given us no benefits. It's given us, everything from Lyme disease to COVID and many, many other diseases. That RSV, which is now one of the biggest killers of children, came out of, a vaccine lab. And we can go down the whole list of diseases that, down to, and there's good evidence that even Spanish flu came from vaccine research. And, we don't know, and we'll probably never know, but there are very, very strong articles suggesting that now.
Super strong articles. Now, it just so happens everything that he said there is untrue. This just isn't true. And you have, these other vectors of medical disinformation nodding along, and none of those things are true. I mean, HIV is a virus that attacks the immune system. It can cause AIDS. It's transmitted through certain bodily fluids. It was not caused by vaccine research. It originated from zoonotic transmission of simian immunodeficiency virus. Simian, of course, referring to monkeys. That's HIV. It's not a result of vaccine research. RSV is a virus that causes respiratory infections that can be particularly serious in young kids. I have friends who have had kids in the hospital, in ICUs with RSV. It's spread through droplets in the air or on surfaces, and it is not caused by vaccine research. It was not created by vaccine research. Lyme disease. Lyme is a bacterial infection, not a virus, transmitted by ticks. It can cause rash, fever, fatigue, headaches. It can be chronic. Extensive scientific studies have looked at Lyme, and its origins are completely unrelated to vaccine research. They have to do with ticks and mice, and there is so much research on Lyme. And then Spanish flu was indeed a pandemic caused by a strain of H1N1 influenza A virus, flu, okay, infected about a third of the world's population in the late 19 teens, killed up to 50 million people. The exact number, there are different estimates, but up to 50 million is a good estimate, and believed to have originated from birds and spread through human contact. Now, by the way, the Spanish flu 1918, not 1917, the way Trump says. There was not a flu vaccine at the time. The first flu vaccine was developed in the 30s and introduced in 1938, nearly 20 years after the Spanish flu. So this stuff just isn't true. And every time we talk about it, some people will write to me and they'll say, David, this is so minor. What about Bobby Kennedy's views on wars or this or that? These beliefs and the willingness to spread this stuff is uniquely disqualifying when someone wants to be president of the United States. That it's not a question of how much does Bobby Kennedy want to talk about this versus not, versus other people talking about it or forcing him to talk about it or whatever. These are uniquely disqualifying views. And by the way, these aren't the only concerning views that Bobby Kennedy Jr. holds. So health policy panel, even I told you it would be unhinged. It was even more unhinged than I expected it to be. And these are simply lies. If you or one of your parents is starting to lose your hearing, you're not alone. About 48 million Americans have hearing loss, and only 1 in 5 people who would benefit from using a hearing aid are actually using one. Our sponsors, MD Hearing, create FDA-registered, rechargeable hearing aids that cost a fraction of what you typically pay. For example, MD Hearing's new Neo model costs less than 10% of what those marked up hearing aids are being sold for at most hearing clinics. And the Neo is MD Hearing's smallest hearing aid ever. No one will even know that it's there. I have a close family friend who uses MD Hearing and loves it. She said it performs better than any hearing aid that she's used, and it's far less noticeable. MD Hearing even offers a 45-day risk-free trial with a 100% money-back guarantee. So you can buy with confidence, and they have a special deal for my audience. When you buy a pair of hearing aids, you'll get them for just $149.99 each, plus they'll include a free extra charging case. Go to mdhearing.com and use the code PACMAN. The link is down below.